Okay, I'm back. I had to think about things to see if there really was any other ones. God, it's hard to remember everything that goes on, the confrontations in life. Then as I started thinking, there was a little one in a bar one time. I had this friend, little Frankie, and this guy was. He was drunk though. He's red. He'd been drinking, and he got carried away when he was drinking and everything. And he was really nasty to Frankie, and I defended Frankie and all, but that turned out to be just a small riot, like, and that didn't amount to nothing. But then it come to mind. Oh yeah. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. These people rented from me. I rented it to them, a nicely dressed young man and a girl and all. I don't know if they were married or what. And they had the security and they paid and everything. And then they never paid me again. That was it. And now they're behind. And they're in my building. And they're not paying. So I got this. This is a funny one. This one turns out to be pretty funny. It was on our anniversary. My wife remembers. And
how'd that happen?
during the lunch hour, I worked close. So during the lunch, I was able to get home, and the guy called me about trees, and I'm supposed to meet him up above there about the trees. So I meet him at noon. So I rush home at noon to meet the guy, and he wasn't there right that moment. But the tenants, they're up there asleep. They're sleeping. They went out all night, wandering around and everything, enjoying themselves, and now they're sleeping in my building and not paying. Hey, who's right and who's wrong, You know what I'm saying? I don't look for nothing. But when it comes, then in life, you gotta do what you gotta do. Try to do what you gotta do and everything. So they lived upstairs, so I go up the steps and I banged on the door, and they ain't gonna sleep. Now I'm out working and everything and all, and they're sleeping and all. So I banged on the door, and the guy come to the door, and we had a conversation. I'm wanting to pay or get out, one or the other. So during the conversation, I remember the words he said to me. Exact words were, "I could have you killed." Well, then I lost it. And I attacked. And I leaped at him and whatever. But he was younger than me. And he got me in a headlock. And he's not a big guy, but ordinary guy. We'll call him ordinary. And he was no bully. So he's got me in a headlock. But I got my hand up around his face, and then I'm in a headlock. I got it up around his face, and I'm twisting around and everything. And my finger went in soft, bad. And he starts screaming. And his roommate, I don't think he was married to the girl after I found that. He's screaming, and she thinks I'm murdering him or something, So she comes running out of the bedroom, and we're on the steps. I was on one step lower, and I leaped at him and everything. And she run past in her underwear and runs down the steps and run out. So I'll transfer the scene outside. The guy arrived about the trees. So what does he see? But this lady run out of the house in her underwear and jump in a car. Now, back upstairs to the action. And now I finger in his eye and everything, and he's wounded. And I've got him crippled. He's wounded. So now the age, what? And I was middle age, maybe I'm 50 or something, and I beat him down every step, down the steps. I beat on him the best I could, and then what the guy seen then was the guy come running out of the house. Now he seen the girl in her underwears jump in the car. Now he sees the guy come running out. And then I'm chasing him. His shoes was laying there. And I grabbed for his shoes. He's running away from me. I grabbed for his shoes, and I'm throwing the shoes at him. So they got in the car and they left. Where they're going, I don't know. And the girl was in her underwear. Really? She was in her skivvies. That's it. And the guy says to me, the guy about the trees, he says, "What's happening, Skip? What's going on?" I had to tell him they won't pay their rent. He must have thought, boy, my God, the heck kind of a landlord is this guy? So then I go back to work. And I'm thinking, I found out somehow, I can't piece everything together, it's too complicated or whatever, with everything that went on in life and all, but I found out they went to the police station. That's where they went. And I thought about it, I better go down there. So after work, I go down, I figured, he put a thing in against me, maybe I knew a couple of the patrolmen. And maybe they called me and told me, So I go down there, and I made out a complaint that he was choking me. And I figured let the judge figure out who was doing the choking. So eventually, 2 weeks we got to go to court. And I go to court. Here's the American way, the system, how it works. We go to court. And I hired a lawyer on the spot right there, to represent me. Now, the American way is he was there. This guy was there then. The American way was they'll supply him with a lawyer. Oh, okay, they're going to supply him with a lawyer, and it's put off. They give him time. So another 2 weeks or something goes by, and now we go, and he didn't show up. Oh, that was a mistake. You got to show up for court. Oh, and I got the same lawyer, I guess, or whatever. And naturally, we won, and a warrant was issued for this guy's arrest because he didn't show up. So I go back home. He didn't show up. That was great. I go home, and I went up and told him, I said, a warrant was issued for your arrest, and if I was you, I'd get out of here. He got a U-Haul truck and moved that night, which was perfect. I'm rid of the guy and everything. Got me for a little bit, but a month or two or something, whatever it was, and all, so that it's over, So, and I forget about it. And maybe 2 years go by. 2 years go by. Here's the way the system works. Now there was a warrant issue, and maybe for traffic violation or stop or something, they got him. And I get a notice I got to appear in court 2 years later. Just picking something out of a hat a couple of years later. So I says, that's over the phone. I says, that's done with. I forgot about that. I dropped the charge. No, you have to come. You got to appear. I got to appear. Oh, jeez. Well, I got to appear. I appear. You got to appear. You better appear. So I appeared. And the judge, I says, I want to drop the charge, Your Honor. The guy's there. I want to drop the charge and everything. And this is the guy that says that he could have me killed. Don't believe everything everybody tells you, You got to act. You got to do what you got to do. So the judge says to me that I want to drop the charge. I told him. He says to me, well, that'll be $65. I says, for me? $65? Let him pay it. And the judge says, are you willing to pay it? Now he was willing to pay. So that's the way that went down. That's the American way, the judicial system, how that works. So that was good. And we'll stop it here again for a minute. After a story like that, I gotta regroup. Okay. Let's see where we're at then. That one was a good one. That was a good one. That might be it on the Confrontations. I don't know. We had 3 videos on them. That ought to be enough. And if you've seen all 3 of them, I did pretty good. I didn't even realize it myself. I lost a couple here and there, but I won a lot of them too. Did I pick my fights? I don't know. I don't know if I picked my fights or what. I would lose it and go with it. That's it. But I didn't pick my fights. No. Some of the things that go on in life, and well, you know. I mean, but if you're dealing with say a Andre the Giant or something, you'd have to be crazy to pick a fight with Andre the Giant. But you do what you gotta do in life. Now, like I said, that's the end of that. And some other things come into my head. What would be good to do, the operation. Oh my God, that's a good one. If I ever got to do that, I'd have to get permission to tell that story. But that's a good one. But anyway, here tonight, I'm gonna go to the VFW meeting, and here's the reason why. I'm going to tell you the reason why. I lived here for years, 45 years or so, and everything. But my hometown, you know, my hometown, where I had to run back to my hometown before I went in the Navy. I joined the VFW over there, and there you have a meeting over there, and I'm going to go there tonight. And I went there once before, and then I forgot a couple months. They have it the first Friday of the month. So the reason that I'm going there is at the funeral they shoot the guns, boom, end it, you know. And when my cousin passed away, that's my cousin when I was in at the CYO, that brawl and everything. They fired the guns for him and everything, you know, and I deserved the guns. I was there. I was in it. So I'm going to go there because I know those guys will take care of me and do that for me and everything. But with the guns, I was better thought to be cremated and put the ashes in the bullets. And then when they fire, it's it. It's all over. Okay, see you guys. Not a bad thought. Take care.